I think I'm ready to finish up this coat. I've been putting it off for a few days. I had my sleeves blocking, but now that they're dry, everything is pretty much ready to be assembled. So I guess I'm gonna be assembling the coat today. I thought I was gonna pick up some buttons the other day, but I haven't really found any yet. Let's do a last minute catch up and review. Now, as you guys saw earlier, I already have the back panel done and the front panels connected. So all in all, it does kind of look like a little coat, but I haven't really stitched up the sides yet because we were blocking some sleeves. Now, all in all, the sleeves are essentially just a rectangle, okay? There's nothing crazy, there's no shaping to them, but I took the last few days to kind of block one side of the sleeves because I would like to have a little bit more wiggle room underneath the armpit section because those are typically the spots that get really tight. Ooh, and that looks good. It looks honestly just about perfect. And at this point, I think I'm just going to lay out the whole coat onto the floor, and then I can go ahead and take my sleeves, attach them here to the shoulder sections of the coat, and then stitch underneath the arms, and then also stitch the sides of the coat shut. Ooh, I'm actually really excited seeing how the sleeves are looking and laying right now. I'm starting to see the full vision come together. I am being a little bit lazy. I should probably stand up so you guys have a better idea of how this coat looks. All right, so here, oh, we're very far. We're very far from the camera. All right, so if I got the framing right with the camera, here's what the coat is looking like at the moment. Again, we have the back and the front panels connected. I am liking how it's looking. Still concerned though. You guys see how the sleeve is a little bit short? She's like a little midriff sleeve. I might have boofed that a little bit. As for the center portion of the coat, I do want to like button it up. So I think once everything is stitched together, one of the last things that I'm going to do is work some rows, I think, of single crochet so that I can leave like little buttonhole sections just to kind of give somewhat of like a border, like a little bit of, I don't want to say ribbing, but just like a lining, a border to the center part of this coat, because I don't want it to just end off on these basic stitches. Like I want there to be some kind of definition, some kind of like outline. And then, yeah, other than that, the other last step once I get there is to kind of add some kind of collar to this neckline so that we can kind of tighten up how it's sitting. If you guys notice, it is a little bit wide. It is kind of like falling off of my shoulders. I do also want to mention that initially when I had made the shaping for the front panels, it didn't look this steep. I think I had it like perfectly kind of like mapped out. I did want this to be a little bit higher up. I didn't quite account for how the weight of the project was really gonna like stretch out the shaping. I still like honestly how it looks. It's really weighed down by the rest of the project. So that's something that I'm gonna have to kind of like account for and find a way to adjust and tweak a little bit. At this point, I'm not gonna go back and like frog anything or undo anything, but I do kind of need to like find a way to slightly tweak it so that I'm a little bit happier with it. Let's get back to the first thing at hand, which is attaching the sleeves, and then we can reconvene. guys will never guess where I am. Yeah, by the way, I drove. First time driving in like a month and a half. Was a little bit nervous, but once we got going, fell back into the old routine. Guess where we are. Can y'all see that? Now, I don't plan on doing any yarn shopping, but I do need some buttons for the coat that I'm working on. I've been searching all over online and even like on the Michaels app because I thought I would just order the buttons and have them delivered. This is like so weird for me. It's just so surreal to like drive somewhere and like go into a store. It's not the usual anymore, but I guess let's head into Michaels together. We're home, baby. We're home. Okay, I feel like finishing up a project today. I've obviously been on a really big like creating kick. Let's do a quick recap of what we have in progress at the moment. Sweater 2.0, which is still not done yet. Surprise, surprise. I'm currently on the second sleeve, so at least we're making progress, okay? Literally just started the sleeve this morning because I had to take pattern photos. But this is gonna be a really fun thing that I can kind of just like work on when we're watching movies over like the next week or so. Second project is the long coat. Now, I'm kind of at a point now where it's like almost done. I'd say safely like 85% done. I have all the panels attached, and as you can tell behind me, I have already started to work on my spring yarn collection, which is going to be a bunch of like mini skeins. And then now fast forwarding to this project. Now I actually started this very randomly like a week ago. It's pretty much done. Like it's a really basic project. I kind of like whipped up a new like little pattern design, stitch pattern that is, and I really wanted to test out how it was going to look on like a larger project. Hence why I kind of started this very random whip, which is essentially a tank top or like a shirt. So for this project, I really just wanted to make 2 matching panels for like a front panel and a back panel. And then now at this point, all I have to do is stitch and seam them together and then kind of like try it on. There's a few different ways that I've been thinking about tackling the stitching on this, just because standard seaming is very boring, but I'm also lazy. So we might just do a standard stitch, like darning needle, whip stitch it, close it all up. The other way I was thinking about attaching the 2 panels is it's a little bit more feminine and it's really cute, but I thought it would be fun to use like some ribbon, whether that's like satin ribbon or matte ribbon, whatever, and then use the ribbon to like lace up the side, so you kind of get like a little boudoir lace up effect on both side seams. But I don't really have any ribbon on me right now. I think my time is better served just seaming together the top. But enough of the chit chat. I kind of wanted to show you guys this really gorgeous stitch. Now technically I did work this like horizontally, but I do want to wear it vertically. I kind of created these, it almost looks like an eyelet pattern, but I've been using like a wraparound stitch, which was so fun. I actually really like the technique, and I like how the stitches turn out. They're very, very defined, and I really like how the eyelets look running vertically. So this is how we're going to seam the top. Really basic. I'm just going to attach it under the arms and then just a little bit at the top of the shoulders, because I thought it'd be fun to kind of wear this like off shoulder as well. But when we get there, we get there. So yeah, I just kind of want to show you guys this really cute stitch I've been using. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun creating. As you can tell, I'm kind of like all over the place. We've been dyeing yarn, we've been writing patterns, I've been making a freaking coat. Like there's a lot going on. I don't know, just after you guys saw me, after being in that slump, I just feel like a butterfly coming out of the cocoon, and I'm so hyped and excited to like dabble into everything. But at the same time, I kind of know I need to like rein it back in. I need to pull back a little bit. or else I'm going to hit that burnout again, which we definitely want to avoid as long as possible. My pixie cut has been growing out. It is wild, it's crazy. There's no shape to her, it's just voluminous. I really wish I could get a haircut. I'm definitely digressing. I am just going to attach the panels together, see how the top looks, and then at least we'll have one whip done. I just finished stitching together the little bits up at the shoulders, and then I have the side seams, so I'm just gonna throw it on and see how it looks. Oh. Wait, okay, I made it a little bit too big. Like I thought this was gonna be a lot more tight like this. And it's like a very, very casual fit. I think it's cute though. Like I can't quite decide if I want to undo it and then kind of like shrink up the top a little bit. I think this would look really cute with just some basic jeans. And surprisingly, even with these little like eyelet stitches, like these little gaps that I have, it's not as sheer as I thought it was going to look. I'm fully aware of the fact that I haven't filmed anything. I think it's been a good month. Been dealing with some health issues, mainly centered around like GI. It's been very unpleasant. And because of that, work has really been put on the back burner, which is okay. Honestly, the last like 3 weeks, I've really just been taking the time to just listen to my body, give it what it needs, instead of focusing so much on work and crocheting. Don't get me wrong, I freaking miss it. Like to not be able to create and do stuff and dye yarn every single day or like work on patterns. It's been a little detrimental for the health. Like I'll be honest, even right now, I can feel my stomach. It's not happy, but I've put this off for long enough and I want to get at least a little bit of progress. So the last update that I gave you guys was me having assembled the front and the back panels. Now since then, I have also attached the sleeves. I'm pretty sure I filmed that, but surprisingly enough, I sewed everything together and I still haven't tried it on. So we're gonna throw this on right now and kind of reassess, see where we're at. In all reality, this thing is very, very close to done. I'm kind of just missing some buttonholes and buttons that I need to sew on, and then like a little bit of a collar. But yeah, let's put it on first. That's how you know I've really been out of it. Like I sewed the whole thing together and then I didn't even take the time to put it on. Now, oh, shoot. Okay, not terrible, but can we see that? I might have made the neckline a little bit too wide. See, and then my decreases already start, so I'm not sure how I can fix that. Shoot. I wish it was sewed a little bit closer up on my shoulders, but we'll figure something out here in a second. But yeah, this is a little problematic and I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna go about fixing that. God, it's been so long. I feel so out of practice with filming, but here's the coat. I think it looks pretty good. Honestly, it's very basic, but it's light enough that like I don't feel super hot in it yet. And it sucks that I put this off for so long because I just feel like I lost my momentum. I feel like I lost the creativity on this, but It's not terrible, not terrible. I'm thinking for like a really quick fix, I might just like attach my yarn right here and then sew like across, like just add a couple rows to like physically fill in that space, because I'm not too sure how else to fix this. We're 2 weeks away from May and this coat is still not done. At least I'll have it ready for when fall hits at the end of the year. What else can I do? The time is gone. Finishing the coat, I actually haven't taken a moment to try on. So we're gonna do that now because it's been on my to-do list for about a week and I keep prolonging it. I don't know what it is about me right now with these projects, but I'm literally at like the very last step and then I just keep procrastinating it. She's not blocked yet at the moment. So I kind of want to try on and just see exactly where I want to like pin and block the little lapel section, because I already know the collar is going to need some, she's going to need some steam. And then I did add on those buttons as you guys saw earlier. Here is, ooh, okay, the updated sweater. Wonder if I should add on more rows to the collar, but all in all, here's the coat. I actually think it looks really good, but let's show you guys the neckline, because as you saw in previous clips, I did have that issue of the neckline being way too wide. And as you guys saw, I kind of just patched it up with some extra stitches. So I closed in, or like closed off all of that extra space. And thankfully, because the yarn is very like shifty and variegated, you can't really tell that I added this post panel seaming. Like it just kind of looks as if it's part of the sweater. And then especially too, if I fold down the collar, everything is pretty well hidden. So this is what the neckline's looking like. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, we need to block the collar so that it's not flipping up. The other thing that I wanted to do is also fold back just a little bit of these like lapel sections right here. I will say my execution on the lapel, it's not bad. It's there, you kind of get the vision, but it's very, I don't know, it feels very like off. It feels pretty wide. I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm really not gonna do any other changes to this other than giving her a quick block. But yeah, this is what I wanna do. I will say now that I have it buttoned up a little bit more, that it is a little bit like tight at the hips. Like it's not super tight, but you can see that it's loose around my waist, and then where my hips get a little bit wider, especially like with these baggy pants on, that it's like just barely hugging me. So I might also block, ooh, I'm thinking that I also might block out a little bit of the hip section and just kind of like widen it just a little bit, because I do want this to be a little bit more free flowing instead of like tight on me. That does look a little bit funny. It doesn't look as bad if I leave it unbuttoned, but yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that because I don't like that. See, this is why we have to do try-ons, and this is why blocking sometimes is crucial. Like sometimes it's necessary, we can't avoid it, And honestly, at the end, it's gonna make the project lay even better. Enclosed sweater, wow, that looks good. Like this right here, ooh, this looks good. This is what I was aiming for. But, you know, for the sake of not having it completely buttoned up all the time, I am thinking about opening up the chest just like this. And then, yeah, essentially this is how I'm going to block it on the mat. So I'm just gonna pin it down right here and like right here. Arm length came out perfect. Like this is dope. This looks so good. Like I could honestly leave the house in this right now and it would look like a dope ass fit, but she needs just a little bit more tweaking. Once she's done drying in like a day or two, we'll do one last final try on and reveal so that you guys get the full image of how the creation in my mind is supposed to look. But yeah. Hello my friends, this is the long-awaited full-length coat reveal. First and foremost, I can't believe it's taken me this long to finish the item, because all I really had to do for the longest time was block it, and then two, to showcase it. My very special first ever handmade coat. Et voila, here she is. I have to bring her up close because I know I've already said this like 10 different times throughout different videos, but you can really only see all of the mohair colors when you're at a really close distance. The further that I stand away, you can hardly not see any of the color at all. In all reality, it kind of just looks like a taupey brown coat, which is cool. I kind of like that. I'm already sweating. In case I haven't mentioned it, it's currently middle to the end of May, so by the time that you guys are seeing this clip, it's probably already June. It's hot, and I have the lights on as well, so I'm just like sweating up a storm. But anyways, I need to throw her on so you guys can kind of get the full vision. But here is my first full-length coat. Check this out. The length, perfection. I think it hits maybe only like a few inches below my knees, but the drape of this, it looks so good. It's not too stiff. I know that was something I was kind of, I wouldn't say worried about, but something that I was trying to troubleshoot ahead of time. I didn't want this to be too rigid. I definitely wanted this to have some movement and some flow in her. So we accomplished that. As you guys saw earlier, I blocked the sleeves, just like the inner portions, so that I would have a little bit more wiggle room underneath my armpit. Et voila, we also accomplished that. I love the look of this coat when it's kind of just open. It's a little bit drapey, it's kind of flying everywhere. I like how only having like the top few buttons frames my silhouette a little bit more, so that it's kind of like pulling me in at the waist just a little bit. And then the rest of it is kind of just like open and freeform. For some reason, and I don't know why, this is kind of giving me like Fleetwood Mac vibes. Just imagine that it's already October and fall and like how this is gonna look when it gets cold again. For the first few days, the lapel looked so good after it was blocked. Like everything was lying flat, staying in its shape. But naturally, as I've kind of like played around with this and thrown it on and off a little bit, these do kind of like flip up. They're not perfect. They have definitely like lost their shape and they don't really stay how I want them to. So something else that I'm thinking about doing is literally just like sewing down the little lapels so that they don't flap up and they kind of just stay down like right there. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and show it to you guys, show you what all that hard work was about. And you know, you guys saw me kind of like tease it on and off, working on it for what, 3-4 months now. Part of me is not surprised that it took me this long to finish it, just because, you know, that's the nature of handmade stuff. But at the same time, it's ironic because it's about to be June and I can't wear this and I just finished it. But nonetheless, we are going to hold on to her until fall, and then I'm going to be whipping this bad boy out for everything. Like, do you guys see this? Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this coat. I can't believe I did it. Also very curious to know if any of you have started on coats. I know this is a bigger project and not as many people are going to want to make it, especially again given the time of year, but I do know that a handful of you were very curious about my progress and how I was kind of like achieving different steps. And I am still thinking about putting together kind of like a guide, a crochet guide on how to crochet your own coat. It won't necessarily be a straight up pattern. There will be like pattern steps, but I thought it would be really fun to kind of give you guys a little bit of content and just again like a general guideline on how to go about drafting and crocheting your own coat that's gonna fit you how you want to. But yeah, let me also know if you guys are still interested in the coat guide. She cute, baby, she cute. I'm gonna be wearing this a lot, I can't wait. Yeah, okay, bye.